Welcome to Tarot and White Oracle, where we get into the cloud to see what we see. This is your mirror soul for Libra reading. And remember, this is one soul or one soul frequency into different bodies or experiences or expressions. This will be the divine masculine Libra or counterpart, divine feminine Libra or counterpart. Because remember, if you are the divine feminine, your counterpart may not be a Libra. This reading is to help you better understand what's going on with your journey, where you're at, how to better align with yourself, because of course the strong purposes in this connection is spiritual awakening and alignment. So we're going to go ahead and dive into this. Remember, I do read for current energy and as it flows over the next 30 days for Libra, but you're the captain of your ship. This is just a snapshot of energy. You can go slower, faster, steer differently, course correct in a different direction. So we do get the energy of confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo, overall energy for Libra over the next 30 days. So this will be towards the end of January and then toward the end of February. This energy is all about new cycles for you, looking and feeling more confident, knowing that you are worth it, that you have things to offer. It's also about grabbing a hold of attention, the attention of life, the attention of another person, saying, hey, I can do this. I'm strong enough. I'm courageous. I'm brave. I'm strong. This is an energy of being proud of who you are, knowing that you're the king of the jungle, per se. And there's also a side note with creative projects. If you're working on creative projects, this is good news coming your way. And also just remembering to have fun. It's time to show the world what you've got, shine your light, have pride in yourself, spoil yourself. Kind of energy. So a really beautiful energy that we have starting off with for the Libra mirror soul connection over the next 30 days. So we're going to go ahead and dive into past energies. I do pre-shuffle to save on time. These are going to be our past energies, and the past energy will be on the outside, and then working inward to present energies. So while I was meditating, I was getting phrases like, where did you come from? I'm over here. How did you get here? So just different phrases were coming through that might resonate for some of you. So when we go ahead and look at the divine masculine Libra energy, we do get the Fool for the past and the Two of Pentacles for the present reversed. So there's a strong sense that the Libra masculine or counterpart to the feminine, if you were in a commitment, so there'll be two pockets of you. If you were in a commitment or in some sort of solid relationship or living together, taking steps to move forward. The past energy is something where the masculine would have walked away or withdrawn, gone quiet, or maybe jumped ship altogether. But if you are in the group where you are not in a commitment, you are not together, you are not in anything solid, this is an energy of your masculine jumping towards you. Trying to start a new adventure, a new cycle with you. So there'll be two different pockets of you for this card coming up. We also see the Two of Pentacles. So that was in the past. In the present energy, we do see your masculine feeling very overwhelmed. There's a sense of not being able to move forward, not really sure the steps to take, how to make this work or move this forward. If your masculine jumped ship from something that was a commitment or something where you were in union and then he left or withdrew or blocked or went silent, and take gender as it resonates, then we have energy here where your masculine might regret what was done, or is still feeling really out of sync, out of place, disaligned. Life is throwing a lot of curveballs, not really sure how to manage life and work. And so even in separation from you, still feeling like it's really difficult to manage everything. If you're in the group where your masculine and you have now come together out of separation, it may be feeling very overwhelming for the masculine energy. What I do see on the feminine side for past energies, and then our present energy. So our past energy for our Libra divine feminine, or the counterpart to the masculine, we do have a sense of growing up, spiritual awakening, turning to source, turning to the divine for answers. This is a strong revision of yourself. It's like you're revisioning who you can be, everything that you've grown through. This energy has a strong link to teeth in the Egyptian, chewing you up, spitting you out, also in the Hebrew, and then being cleansed, water. There's a strong fire and water energy. For me, I really see this energy a lot like an Aries, fire burning you up, and then a Scorpio, water washing you clean, reborn kind of energy. So this energy is just to remind you of the processes that you've been through, the growth that you've been through. So in the past, the divine feminine is bringing a lot of growth, a lot of maturation, a lot of spiritual awakening, turning to source, a revision of herself. In the present energy, we have our Queen of Swords. So this is a very strong Libra energy. For me, this is Libra, but it can also be Aquarius energy. So the feminine is showing up for herself. She's allowing that flow of intuition to come through. And, you know, Aquariuses and Libras, they are air signs, so they live a lot of times in their head. But this energy feels like she's connecting to her emotion, her intuition, and source. There's a sense of her being honest, open, taking things with grace. She's in a very calm growth, taking things at ease. And he, the masculine, is in a place where he's feeling very overwhelmed, disconnected, or disaligned. Too much is being thrown at him, probably emotionally, but it could be also just overall as well. So let's go ahead and dive into blockages, and then we'll get into our advice energy. I do see a blockage on the masculine side, the wounded heart. So acknowledge and tend to past emotional wounds. Healing begins with self-compassion. So there's an energy around the next 30 days for the masculine, the Libra divine masculine, or counterpart to the feminine. If you know, you don't necessarily have to be a Libra if you're the counterpart to the divine feminine, of acknowledging that your past wounds, your emotional wounds. And it's feeling like that's a big part of why you're feeling overwhelmed. Remembering to love yourself, have compassion for yourself, and looking at why you're hurt, why you're feeling, sad, wounded warrior energy. This feels a lot like the Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles coming together, and this is allowing yourself to process the hurt that has happened in your life. A lot of times we have hurt that comes from childhood or from other relationships, and we take them into ourself. And when we do that, that means we take it everywhere we go, even with new relationships. And so this energy is a reminder to look at those past wounds, even as far back as childhood, so that you can get to the crust of these matters. An advice energy that we have around this, yes, we see our Ten of Swords, which is our, a painful, hurtful ending. So there's a lot of hurt and pain that's stored within the masculine. because of relationships, breakups, and even things that felt disaligned or hurtful in childhood. So what I'm feeling is that the masculine needs to take a strong look at these wounds, because when we don't heal them, they become demons, right? And they rear their ugly head at other people. Like they say, hurt people hurt people. So there's a lot of hurt here that I see. And the masculine really, sometimes it's hard to do it all on your own, and it's okay to look to friends, or there's sometimes therapists online, or even self-help books. A lot of times it's hard to figure all that out on your own. So don't feel like you have to do it on your own if it's too hard and you know that you have hurt, pain, wounds inside to deal with. So let's go ahead and look at our feminine. She does have, over the next 30 days, there is an encouragement to look at codependency patterns. So evaluate where you rely on others for emotional stability and reclaim your own power. So this doesn't mean that you can't turn to other people for emotional stability, or you can't turn to other people. Of course you can when you need to reach out or you need help, but this is always turning to other people instead of knowing that you or yourself are also a source you can turn to. So when we don't turn to ourselves at all and we're only turning to others, there's a sense of relying constantly on others, and that becomes a codependency pattern, right? So there's some sort of pattern within the feminine's life where she needs to know that she can rely on herself. Maybe this has to do with money. Maybe this has to do with emotions. Maybe this has to do with work itself. Look, it'll be different for everyone, but look to see what patterns show up in your life where you're constantly relying on others rather than yourself to fulfill that need. And so this is for over the next 30 days. That's our divine Libra or counterparts encouragement. We also get the star advice. So this is advice around, of course, healing and the divine purpose of the connection. So knowing deep within that this is a special connection. This is a mirror for you. Your masculine is mirroring energy back to you for you to take a look at and see what you need to heal and work on. And that's often what happens in these connections. You come into union and you see where you still need to heal. You trigger each other, and then you go into separation. And then you do that healing work, that alignment, realignment with yourself. So this energy is just a reminder that you are connected on a soul level to your person. There is a divine purpose for what you're going through, and that this is the right time to work on these codependency patterns and to heal these codependency patterns. So let's go ahead and dive into what your masculine is intending, and then we'll look at actions and what to focus on. So the masculine has a beautiful energy. On the Libra divine masculine side, we see the high priestess. This is a very twin flamey energy, so is the star. And this is all about connecting to his knowing, connecting to his own intuition, connecting to the masculine energy, which is of, this can be a very telepathic energy as well. This energy is a conduit from above to below. And so there's a sense of tapping into what's above, not just remaining below on earth in the material realm, but connecting to emotion, intuition, source, soul, spirit, the higher realm. There's a sense of the masculine energy balancing itself by tapping into its higher self and higher source. So that's the intention. The masculine is going to aim to do what needs to be done to realign and rebalance. So the intention on the feminine side, we do get our 3 of Cups. So this is a really strong energy around, of course, socialization and celebration, having fun, trying to stay positive and joyous and connecting, trying to connect to loved ones, family, friends, even to the divine masculine. The feminine is going to not isolate, not stand a shell, but try to participate in life. That's her intention. So let's go ahead and look at actions. So for the divine masculine, the action, all right, we do get a beautiful energy, the 5 of Cups reversed. So this is a sense of letting go of guilt, letting go of regrets, letting go of sadness and sorrow, and not holding on to those negative emotions anymore. This is, you know, in the upright, it could be a very sad energy. And of course, that's focusing on what's lost, focusing on what we don't have. It's a strong pessimism energy, even though, you know, in the back, there are 2 cups that are upright. There is hope, but it's a sense of not seeing the hope, not seeing the light, but instead focusing on the negative or shadow or dark side. So in the reverse, this is a beautiful energy of the masculine coming out of darkness, is what I want to say, coming out of the pain. So the action for over the next 30 days is the masculine is going to tap into emotion, intuition, source, and come out of the hurt, the pain, the loss, the regret, the guilt, to heal. So very beautiful. I see that the intention and the action are lining up. So really great for the masculine side over the next 30 days. The feminine energy, we have our 4 of Pentacles reversed. Beautiful for the feminine as well. Of course, this is releasing patterns that are broken, releasing patterns that are no longer working for her. A lot of times when we're in relationships, especially intense relationships, there's a strong sense of wanting to hold on to it so tightly you might suffocate it. A sense of control. You need to control it. You need to possess it. And jealousies can come up. So in the reverse, this is a beautiful energy of just letting go. Letting go, letting God, letting the forces that be, trusting the process, trusting yourself, letting go of codependency patterns of control, jealousy, possession, relying solely on others instead of yourself. So the action is very beautiful. So the intention is to go to others, but we of course have an encouragement to not solely rely on others. So her natural intention is to go to others, even though the encouragement is to break those patterns, to always do that. And it looks like then she's going to release. She's going to let go of some of those patterns and come to a point where she's realizing her own behaviors. So we have a beautiful action energy that also looks aligned for divine feminine. Let's go ahead and see advice for what the masculine needs to focus on. What does the masculine need to focus on to help him over the next 30 days? We do get the 7 of Cups. This is unconditional love. This is making up your mind, knowing your worth, knowing that you're not an option, that you are divinely connected, knowing that you are purposed, you have purpose in this connection, in life, purposefulness, and investment. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a beautiful investment energy. So the masculine needs to focus on what he's investing in. And this is also patience, right? So it's like you need to focus on unconditional love, knowing your mind, knowing your worth, and patience. And investing within yourself. Like this, the man is looking back at unconditional love. So it's like an investment in unconditional love within yourself. We also get a 7-7. So it's a beautiful spiritual reminder of your spiritual awakening and your divine connection to source, to God, and remembering to invest in that unconditional love that source God provides you within yourself. So there's a focus of turning inward, looking at how you love yourself. That's what you need to focus on. So for the feminine, we have one energy. So two energies came out for the masculine in the pre-shuffle, just one for the feminine. We do get the Ace of Cups. So this is love abundant, right? Love overflowing. Both of you are having a focus that is about love, how we love ourselves and how we love others. Because we can only love others as much as we love ourselves. And that love that we have for ourselves is directly related to our relationship to Source, to God, right? So being able to offer love to yourself and to your other person is a focus for the feminine. And also, how does she love herself? And that's how she's going to show up in love for other people, especially her divine masculine. So is this a reminder to focus on being open to knowing that you have all the love right here within your hand, within you, to offer for yourself. You don't have to turn to others all the time to find that self-worth, that building up, that kind word. And you can break the codependency patterns by knowing you're also tapped into Source, to God, to love, and you can also love yourself. So there's a strong similar message on both the masculine and feminine side over the next 30 days. Let me know how your relationship is doing in the comments, and like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next 30 days.